Greetings to everybody from the future. Welcome to the Prologue world. This is casual hardcore Minecraft. The only casual hardcore Minecraft channel on YouTube. This is a journey. Welcome to my journey of initialization. You get to witness the initialization of a channel in which I'm working my way towards day 100 in hardcore mode, which I would consider to be sort of the initializing moment that I haven't actually achieved yet. Let's eat an apple. I think I'm low in health. Let's see. Today, I'm just going to chop more wood. Well, first I actually need to make a chest because I need to drop off some wood that I already chopped in last episode. And then I have big plans for today. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about while I'm chopping wood. So I might actually be kind of skipping ahead over here. Let's carve some of this dirt out of the way. If you've watched the last episode, you'll know that in a way, I'm kind of abandoning the premise already of the Prologue world. The idea that this is the world before the beginning, right? Well, you know what? I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the beginning. Okay, this might be a very important episode because I'm gonna talk about a foundational topic. I found something very important, a very like the beginning. This would be like the 101 topic of philosophy, of intellectualism in general. I'm going to talk about intellectual humility in this episode, or at least I'm going to try to. I'm going to talk about it as much as I can. It's a big topic. There's a lot to cover. I don't know how much of it I'll manage to actually cover in one episode. And I really also need to focus on not dying, because I am also trying really hard to actually make it to day 100. Although, as I mentioned in the last episode, I've kind of given up on that. Alright, this world is going to continue, regardless of whether or not I'll die. Because this is literally my 6th attempt at this. See, I really wanted to pull this kind of stunt in the beginning of my channel. I wanted to record myself, make it to day 100 in hardcore mode in Minecraft. And I've done this. I've done this on my own. I know I can do this, because I've done this multiple times in off screen, off camera. I've done this. So I know I can do it. But so far, this is my 6th attempt at this, and I still haven't really managed to do it. So, we're not really, it hasn't been a very good start. Alright? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, wow, I have a full stack of sticks. Let's just leave one block of wood there. One block of birch wood. She'll collect more in just a second. Yeah, whenever you're like looking at a chest or a crafting table and you're not in a very secure area, you gotta just constantly be on the lookout, looking around yourself to make sure things aren't trying to sneak up on you. All right. I need to make some more axes. One more thing. I need more axes before I get started. 3 more axes. Oh, and more hoes. I also need more hoes. More hoes and more axes. Let's do something like this. And one more hoe. Pretty sure I'm going to need at least one more hoe. Alright, alright, there we go. Now we're prepared. All set. Okay, now I'm going to continue with the wood chopping. I'm making my way this way. I'm trying to carve through this forest towards the starting area. There's not really a whole lot further to go. I think I'll be able to get this done in one more episode. This is it, guys. This is that one more episode. We're already more than halfway through the first of the 3 days, so I really gotta get right into it. I have my shield equipped, right? I got my shield equipped. Alright, we're all set. I just want to walk through this area that I'm planning to chop down, just to see how much there is. Basically, I'm making my way this way through all of those trees, past this beautiful horse, spotted horse. and towards this area. And let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go along this edge of the mountain here because I decided that's a safer route than to go through there. So I'm gonna go along the edge of the mountain that way. All right. I think I know what I'm doing now. I'm all prepared. I'm all figured out. I have plans. I can just go right ahead now. So this very well may be the beginning. All right. Unless you count last episode as the beginning. Last episode was also kind of inaugural because I was talking about how I'm not going to keep restarting anymore. All right, this is it, guys. If this doesn't work out, I'm just going to keep going anyways. I might even bring back older worlds too. I might just reincarnate myself in the original mundane world or the nameless world. I'm definitely coming back to the nameless world. That's not finished. It's not over with yet. But anyways. In this inaugural episode, I want to talk to you about intellectual humility. To me, this is the foundational principle of philosophy. For those of you guys who are new, who are brand new, which is most of you guys are new viewers that have never watched the previous episode, the idea, the concept of this channel, all right? The whole point of this channel is I'm working my way to transitioning towards making this a philosophy channel. So this isn't really going to be, Minecraft is kind of a cover, all right? I actually have an agenda. I actually have ideas that I'm going to advocate for while I'm chopping wood. The reason I'm going with Minecraft is because there's a lot of opportunities like this while you're just doing mundane, repetitive tasks like chopping wood. And they're great. It's great for talking about things while you're doing it, right? So that's how I'm rolling. So, anyways, now I gotta sleep too. It's almost the end of the night. I just want to pitch my bed and wait for the sun to set now before I get into any dangerous territory. Anything any more dangerous than this? I guess I could put a little light over here. Let's make a little light over here. This looks like a good spot to pitch a light. There we go. Nice sunset, isn't it? I really like this spot. I'm gonna the reason I'm clearing this pathway out is because I plan to build my starter house on this little promontory over here. I think it just has fantastic views. So that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm working my way in this direction. And that's also why I'm collecting all of this wood. All of this wood is going to get utilized. All right. Okay, we're all prepared now. Let's finally get into the freaking conversation, the freaking topic of the day. All right. This is how it's going to be. I'm gonna talk to you guys about specific topics. That's the idea, the format, I guess. And I'm not always going to do this. I mean, I'm going to prioritize the gameplay commentary, actually, because I actually really like Minecraft too. All right. It's not just that I think that the Minecraft is an excellent platform for a philosophy geared channel. It's also I also just really enjoy Minecraft, and I really like playing hardcore Minecraft in particular. But that's not the topic of the day. The topic of the day is intellectual humility. So let me get into that. I'm just watching for creepers, for anything around me. I got my shield equipped, but you gotta be. I'm still gonna be very cautious. I'm not planning on dying until day 100. I really want to make it to day 100. It would be really cool. It'd be really cool. I haven't died yet, so I still have that opportunity to actually succeed. After all, I very well might. So, this concept is the foundation of intellectualism in general. I would say that this is one thing that philosophy shares with science. Scientists and philosophers don't generally get along, of course, but in this regard, they do. Because they're founded on the same principle, of critical thinking. That's what intellectual humility comes down to. It's synonymous with critical thinking, with exercising a certain stubborn uncertainty, with questioning everything, with skepticism. It's also synonymous with skepticism. Although the word skepticism has a bad rep nowadays. Modernity has kind of bastardized the word skepticism, and now it has a this negative connotation of dismissiveness. Now, if you call yourself a skeptic nowadays, everybody's going to assume that you mean that you're very dismissive and closed-minded, and that's not at all what it is supposed to mean. At least as far as I know. I mean, I don't. I don't take myself entirely seriously. Everything that I say, this is just my personal opinions, my personal theoretical opinions, my personal conjectures, speculations. You know, I just as a disclaimer, I am not a professional at this. I do not have any claim to professionalism. I'm not a certified philosopher, okay? I haven't even read many books, all right? Philosophy to me is about thinking for yourself first, and that's what I advocate for, and that's what that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a place of my own personal intuitions about things, all right? So what does intellectual humility mean to me, all right? What does skepticism mean? To me, skepticism is about questioning everything, right? This is how philosophy started. The original philosopher, Socrates was like this. The Socratic method is basically all about this. It's just about questioning everything. Anytime that anybody makes a claim to certainty, that should raise a red flag. Don't let anybody ever act like they know something for sure, and kind of don't let anybody pressure you into agreeing with something on the spot. You should never do that. You should the appropriate attitude as a skeptic, as an intellectual. There's a certain there's a certain conversational habit that fair-minded intellectuals share, right? And that's this habit of prioritizing, of making the objective of conversation not about coming to an agreement. The objective of the conversation should never be about reaching agreement, but it should be about reaching a mutual understanding. So the idea is to share a perspective, right? To share a perspective that you're not even certain of. And that's the standard, the intellectual standard of how you look at the world to begin with. Like you should feel uncertain about everything. So it goes against the grain of modernity. Modern, like our culture it kind of suppresses intellectualism. It suppresses it suppresses intellectual humility because we're conditioned to project a certain superficial confidence in everything. We're supposed to act like we know things for sure. We're supposed to act like we're sure of ourselves, or at least we're supposed to pretend that we are, even if we aren't, because admitting to uncertainty is unattractive, right? Because that's how it's perceived, at least. It's perceived to be unattractive. And I really hate that. I really resent that. And I think that this is a hill that I'm willing to die on. Like it's very important to me to not be that way. So I insist on being this way. I insist on maintaining a stubborn uncertainty, a healthy skepticism about everything, even though everybody will advise you against this. But not me. I advocate for this. I advocate for looking at everything with a skeptical mindset of always trying to the habit is kind of always trying to look for loopholes, not loopholes, but pitfalls, I guess, or ways. Like critical thinking is about looking for ways to find. You're looking for ways to, you find gaps of possibilities, gaps, you're looking for ways in which it's possible that the topic, the conjecture that the theory is wrong. And that's what science is all about. Science is all about disproving theories, right? It's not about proving yourself, it's about disproving theories. So if you have a pet science theory, you're like a genuinely minded scientist, well, you're going to be looking to test that theory, to test the many ways in which that theory could be wrong. Because that's the objective, that's the hallmark of critical thought, of testing out ways in which something could be wrong, could be untrue. Right? Because the world we live in, that's a reflection of the reality that we live in. The reality that we live in is that we don't know shit. The human condition is of not knowing shit. We don't have we don't have clarity about anything. We don't have a clear understanding. I mean, the most we have clarity of is our feelings. And that's what we kind of default to. That's kind of what we end up having to resort to in this state of uncertainty, of perpetual uncertainty. We end up having to resort to emotivism, right? And that's what I end up advocating for. That's what I end up subscribing to, I guess, from a philosophical stance. Like just going along with what you feel like, and that can be difficult to discern, right? It could be a process of even figuring that out. Well, what do you feel like doing with your life? What do you feel like striving towards? What are your feelings leading you to? So that's still not entirely clarifying on its own. There's kind of a step further beyond that to go, but that's kind of the starting point. That's the starting point. Basically, just the I guess I'm an existentialist in this matter. The existentialists will make the case that there's no way to be certain of anything, that nobody has the answers to what you should do with your life, to what the right thing to do is, and you're basically left to your own devices to figure that out on your own and make up your own point of life. And I feel like I've done that, right? I have come up with what to me feels like a reliable direction in life, but that's not the topic of this episode. In this episode, I want to talk about the foundation of uncertainty, of the stubborn uncertainty of skepticism, of intellectual humility. All right, let me talk a little bit about how I think skepticism, the concept of skepticism, has been bastardized by modernity, because it just has a negative reputation now, and I think that I feel like this is unfounded and undeserved. The opposite should be the case. People should find skepticism to be healthy and even attractive. So skepticism nowadays is considered to be synonymous with being dismissive, because people think that if you're a skeptic, then you're gonna be closed-minded. You're not gonna be willing to consider possibilities. And actually, the reason this is wrong is because the dismissal, being dismissive of things, is also a claim to certainty. So right, so if you're encountering a new perspective about something and you're dismissive of it on the grounds that it's on some skeptical grounds, well, that's not really skeptical, because you're making the claim to certainty. You're saying that, well, that's certainly not true. That can't be true. And that's also a claim to certainty, right? And if you're a true skeptic, you wouldn't take that route, because you will find ways in which, well, it's possible that that's true. You will find ways to think critically about that claim. You will say that, well, here are the different ways in which that claim may be true, in which we can't verify that that it's untrue unless you can verify with certainty that something is untrue. You should leave it on the table. You can't really dismiss it. You can't really be that dismissive of anything. So actually, genuine skepticism leaves everything on the table. You're actually very open-minded. That's how you're supposed to be as a skeptic. You're not supposed to. It doesn't mean that you're not willing to take things into consideration. On the contrary, it means that you're thirsty for opposing perspectives. You're thirsty for critical thinking. You're thirsty to hear from other people who disagree with you. And you, like, I would actually, like, in conversation, I like to encourage people to disagree with me, because the objective is to explore the landscape of the variety of ways in which you could look at a topic, and not even land in a conclusion, not even arrive at an agreement or at a conclusion, but rather to remain in the state of suspense, of a suspension of to remain in a state to suspend your confidence, right? And confidence is also a poorly understood concept these days. I hate the term confidence now, because I think that it gets misused. It gets, like, because it's considered so unattractive to have a lack of confidence. But if you're honest about the reality of the world that we live in, you can hardly be confident about anything. I mean, confidence, technically speaking, confidence is like the spectrum of certainty. It's kind of like so there's confidence is like the degrees of certainty. Like to what extent to what degree do you feel certain about something, right? So there's a, like, certainty is like a yes or no type of thing. It's not like there's not a spectrum of it. So you can either be certain of something or you're not certain of something. And confidence is the spectrum version of that. So it's kind of like the measure of to what extent do you feel more or less certain. That's confidence, right? In the intellectual sense. Like, you can talk about the extent to which you're confident about something. You can't. It's not like you're either confident or what the fuck. What the fuck is that sound? I don't know. That was very scary to me. But that was a zombie sound. That wasn't even like a creeper sound. So, but still, that was very scary to me, because I'm really trying very hard to survive. I really don't want to die. Very dangerous times right now. Although I have iron armor now and I have a shield on me, but still, you are one creeper blast away from losing this world. Whew. So yeah, confidence isn't supposed to be it's not like something that you either have or you don't. It's like, it's a spectrum. It's supposed to be a measure of, like, of the degree, the extent to which you're confident of something. That's how I wish that term was used. I think that would be a more accurate use of that term. It's kind of the spectral version of certainty. So really, you wouldn't be confident in anything. You would exercise a healthy lack of confidence in anything. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be confident, because we don't have a clarity about the world in practically anything. We're very good at measuring things and very good at counting things, and that's it. But as far as making assessments of the processes of the world, especially in social dynamics, but even science, even scientific, even like the material world, we have very, very limited clarity about the material world, and they don't stress that enough in school. They don't talk enough about how extremely theoretical our current scientific models are. Like, we don't really know. We don't really understand gravity very well. We don't understand magnetism very well. We don't understand electricity very well. Like, the basic things that run our world, that our world is the world that we see around us. Not even talking about the alleged supernatural world, the spiritual world of disembodied souls that the New Age traditions talk about. Not even talking about that. If you just look at the material world, we can't be certain of anything in the material world, because everything is so extremely theoretical, and we know that the theories that we have are incomplete, because we're seeing evidence that they're wrong in some ways. Right? So we know that we don't have a complete picture of the world. Nobody understands quantum dynamics, quantum physics. We have formulas that we don't understand the meaning of. And that's the experts, the people that understand the world better than anyone, that are at the leading edge of science. will tell you that they really have we have a very poor understanding of the world, and we only have theories so far that we don't have good confidence in, that um, we have, just conjectures, and that's all we have to work with for the time being. We're in a very early stage of development, which is actually pretty exciting. Like, we should be excited about the state of humanity. We're in a very early stage of development. And that's another thing that they didn't stress enough in school. When I was in school, it felt like everything's already figured out. What's the point of studying anything, of getting interested, of trying to discern, trying to understand anything? Because everything's already figured out. What's the point? And yeah, and they didn't explain to me. Nobody explained to me that that's not true. No, we don't have everything figured out. On the contrary, we're, like, everywhere you look, there's massive gaps of understanding. We don't understand anything. Like, everything is subject to critical thought. When you exercise this rigorous intellectualism, you will find that that you can't be certain of anything. All you really have are your feelings about things, and that's okay, because that's all you have. So it's perfectly acceptable, and that's the one thing you can be confident about how you feel about things. That's the one thing you can be confident in, because you have direct access to that. You can tell how you feel about things, at least. At least you can tell where your intuition leads you to, or at least you can have a degree of confidence in your intuition. Even with your intuition, your intuition changes about things. So even there, you can't really be completely certain about things, right? And the modern world is so opposed to that. It suppresses that kind of thinking. The modern world will have you pretend to be confident, to be sure of yourself, project this kind of superficial confidence, and I hate that. I really resent that. And you're not only are you supposed to project a superficial confidence, but you're supposed to align with this politeness culture, where you pretend to agree with other people who are projecting their superficial confidence. It's considered impolite to voice a disagreement, and because it's frustrating to people when you do that. If you do that, it's frustrating because it's considered disrespectful. Even people would say that it's disrespectful to voice a disagreement. You're supposed to just keep that to yourself. And what happens is we end up being detached from one another, because we end up living in this world of white lies in which we're pretending to. We just don't talk about things that we disagree about, because we don't want to. Because we want to. Because we're conditioned to what's the word? To safeguard people's egos. Like, that's more important than being on the same page about things. And that's really frustrating to me, because I don't think that's a healthy way of looking at things. Gosh, I'm hearing lots of sounds, lots of nasty sounds from underneath. I hope that's coming from underneath, from that big cave down there. I don't know where that's coming from. All right, I think I've done it, guys. I've carved my path through this stretch of land. So I'm pretty sure I lost count. I'm having a hard time keeping track of how many times I already slept. I'm pretty sure that this is already day 3, so I might actually be close to having to wrap this episode up. Since if it is close, I'm pretty sure it's close to. I'm gonna check in a minute, but I'm gonna make my way back this way, in this direction, because I'm gonna need to offload all of the wood that I chopped. How much wood? Yeah, that was a good pull. Got another couple of full blocks there. Full inventory now. That's make my way back to where I started. And then I really want to look at these flowers over here. This field of peonies. Let's see, maybe I can get the sunset in. Nah, that's not a really good shot. That's all right. I'll look at them from this direction. I need a good thumbnail. All right, I didn't really have a good thumbnail for my last episode. I got a shot of a creeper, so I gotta make sure to have a good thumbnail before I end the episode. Yeah, this is the third time I'm sleeping, so that's it now. I gotta end the episode now. This field of peonies is the best I got. this a good picture? Not really. There we go. Look at this beautiful sunrise in the peonies. Now that's not very good. It's not all that pretty, is it? It's all right. I'm not very happy with it. Maybe this other flower patch, maybe that flower patch. I need something beautiful because it's a beautiful topic, right? This is an important topic. I'm going to come back to this topic over and over again because this is the foundation of philosophy, the foundation of the intellectual tradition. This is how you're supposed to. This is a habit that you're supposed to get used to if you're trying to pursue like the intellectual tradition, right? You're supposed to exercise that, and you're supposed to exercise that habit, and always kind of maintain this stubborn uncertainty, and I get carried away when I do talk to people. They get really frustrated with me because they think that I'm trying to find, I'm trying to find ways to criticize them or something like that, and it's not that. My problem is generally with certainty. It's not with theory, with the opinions that people tell me. Like I really want to hear people out, right? I really like to engage in conversations with people, but I'm going to be skeptical of your level of certainty, right? So I'm not going to take you seriously if you're completely certain about something. I mean, I'll entertain you, of course. I'll talk to you about it, about whatever you want to talk about. But people get really frustrated about that when you exercise that rigorous intellectual humility with them. It gets frustrating. But if you, I need to end the episode now. It's been a bit of a haphazard kind of rapid conversation in which I kind of, it feels like this has been like a singular topic, right? But I feel like I went all over the place with that, didn't I? But I also kind of tried to jam in a lot of information, a lot of things in one episode, 1/2 hour session. So I hope that wasn't too overwhelming. I mean, I was really just talking about one thing, okay? I hope that I managed to get my point across. I hope that this was somewhat clear to you guys. This is supposed to be a very inaugural kind of thing. This is the most important. This is philosophy 101 to me. Oh, hey, that tree grew. Look at that. It's not a very big tree, though. I'm probably going to chop this down and try to regrow it. Yeah, that's not a very satisfying apple tree. It needs to be bigger than that. Yeah. But that's something for next episode. I really got to call it a day now. It's already halfway through. All right, I survived. We should be on day 30, day 21, 30, 21. Yeah, we've played through 21 days now. Let's eat another apple. We're on day 22 now. So yeah, this is where I'm gonna pick up again the next time. I'll see you guys next time. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you liked this. I really hope that. Thanks a lot to people that are watching this. I'm very grateful for the algorithm has been very generous towards me in this run. With these last few episodes, it's been granting me tons and tons of impressions. It's been I feel like it's been really trying to I guess market these episodes to a broader audience, and I do feel like there's one or two people that are actually trying to bear with me and trying to follow through and watch through the end, to the end of the episode, and that's something new to me. All right, if you are that person, if you're still with me right now, you're one of two or three, or maybe the only person still watching. That's something new to me, and I'm really, that's kind of my target. I'd love to have some buddies like that who are who actually watch through the entire thing and who would have things to respond to me with. Please utilize the comment section. Let me know what you thought. It doesn't have to be a lot. You don't have to write something big or long, although that would be I love the longer the comments are, the more I like them. I'm very fond of lengthy comments, lengthy substantial comments. But if you just want to, say that you like the episode, I would appreciate that too. I really like receiving comments. But anyways, with that, I gotta end the episode now. I'm already going overboard. I hope that this was interesting. I hope that I made my wood chopping interesting to you, and I hope that this was I've retained somebody. I've retained a new person. If you're a new person, please welcome to this channel. And I hope to see you next time. All right. There's much more to come. This is only the beginning. This is the world before the beginning. Prologue world, episode 7. All right, that's it. That's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. And Shadowlay, my fellas. Shadowlay.